It's a great day to talk hockey with Grant McCagg on Habscast.
Good evening, everyone. It's still riding the wave from last night's win over Boston. That was so huge that they stopped the slide. You know, losing to Anaheim and San Jose wasn't good, but a lot better than losing outright to a divisional rival. Somebody that you're fighting for your playoff life against. So it was huge that they came up with a win last night. Yeah, Boston got a point, but they got two, and it keeps the dream alive, right? We're starting to get a little bit antsy, but long as they don't go on another 2 or 3 game losing streak here in regulation now, they the slide has stopped and it's looking good. But I had a look last night and today at Dillan Bentley. Now he's the kid out of UMass-Lowell that the Canadiens signed and sent him down to Laval. He's going to turn 25 in March, so presumably he's ready to jump right into the AHL and and look good. And certainly from a physical standpoint, he's he brings maturity. He's big. In talking to his coach today for 4 years, Bazin, he was saying that he's put on a fair bit of weight. So I know he's listed here at 6'4", 192. You got to say that is probably, he said, well over 200 now. But what caught my eye, and well, you can see here, right? He went from 5 points to 12 to 16 to 25, including 14 goals in his final season. By the way, he's not playing tonight. Would have been asking a little much for him to suit up already. Plus, he's going to need a few practices, but I expect to see him in the lineup. From what I see, just first impressions at least, he'll be playing. He'll play, and I would expect that he'll play in the playoffs too. Give them some added depth here. They'll probably call up a player or two, a couple of black aces at playoff time for Montreal, and he's somebody that, from the look, from my first impressions, is going to be able to step into the AHL and have some impact. What stands out right away with him is his size skating combo. He's he skates well for a 6'4" kid, and you notice it right away. Laval could use that, and maybe someday even Montreal could use that. But some really interesting comments from his coach, Mark Bazin, about him and about his potential as a pro, and I think you'll find that quite interesting. Also, just in case you missed it, Mr. 40, first guy since 93, 94. I put up a video on my YouTube channel of every one of Cole Caufield's goals this season. So if you get a chance, have a look at it. It's 5 minutes long. It's kind of fun to look at. Of course, they're all like 3-4 second snippets because you don't want to get flagged by YouTube. But if after this, if you get an opportunity, have a look at it. Maybe retweet the post I put up on X if you're on there. Follow me, and like the video if you do like it. Press like. All right, I'm going to play. I'll start off with the Bazin interview here, the coach. and I'll be around in the chat and answer a couple questions or comment on some comments as this is playing. It's only 16 minutes, so I'll be back on after that, and then we'll go over the video. And I think you'll be impressed. I know I was. The Canadiens picked up an intriguing piece here. Yes, by the way, he's a center that shoots right. So, hey, you have to. You come across a player, it doesn't matter which way they shoot. The centers, especially, if they're good, if they're intriguing, like there was no use of them signing a lesser centerman just because he shoots left and this guy shoots right. An asset's an asset, and even if he doesn't, eventually play in Montreal, and I mean, obviously, the odds are against him. Undrafted, going to turn 25 in a couple of weeks. One of the older players in college hockey, went the NAHL route, as you can see by the New Mexico Ice Walls. Like, that's quite a kid from Peoria, Illinois, went to the NAHL, barely scored in his at 20 years of age, or 19, 20 in the NAHL. In 2021, he had a breakthrough year, then goes to UMass-Lowell, 4 years, but you have to like the progression. And anyway, we'll get back to it here, and I will play the interview that I had with his 4-year coach at UMass-Lowell, Mr. Norm Bazin. I'm pleased to be joined by UMass-Lowell head coach Norm Bazin today. He coached Montreal's latest addition to the organization, Dillan Bentley, who in his senior year had a pretty good run. You can see here that he led his team in scoring at 14 goals, which actually was more than Logan Sawyer, Michael Hage, Sam Harris, and every other Montreal Canadiens prospect that's playing college hockey this year. So Norm, welcome to the show. And I guess you saw a nice progression from Dillan's. When he first came to the team and got 5 points his first year. By the fourth year, he's assistant captain, 14 goals, which is great at that level. And you must have seen a marked improvement in his game as the years went along.
Absolutely. First of all, it's great to be with you. And, I felt Dillan had the type of senior year that we needed him to have. And he was a leader for us. And he was certainly impactful every time he stepped on the ice. So we're excited for him to get this opportunity.
Yeah. Well, it's not the first time that the Canadiens, under the new management, has dipped into the Riverhawks to pick up a college free agent. Of course, Lucas Condata 5 years ago, right?
Yeah, roughly about that time. It's time flies. I think it was even less than that. But in
4 years ago.
Yeah, 4 years. In any event, Lucas was an outstanding captain and another guy who progressed as the years went along in the college system.
So, is there you got a connection in the Habs organization there or something, or what's going on with the signing all these Riverhawks? Somebody live close to maybe Bob Rob or one of those guys reside close by, or what?
No, I think they look for character guys, and these are two good candidates. Lucas is a captain here in Laval and had some time with the Habs and made the most of his time when he was up there. And both those guys are character guys that seem to be impactful on the ice and off the ice also. Yeah, well, I mean, as said when Condata was signed, like, he's captain material, and lo and behold, he is captain of Laval and a
great character, as he stated back when he signed with the Canadiens. What would you say have been the parts of Dillan's game that have improved the most since he first joined your club?
Yeah, I think what's improved the most is his release. To be honest with you, he really shoots the puck well, and it comes off his stick as quick as can be. And I think he's got a pro shot. So from that standpoint, it's always nice to have someone who can get pucks on net, someone who can penetrate, and someone who's getting better as the years go along. So I would consider him a late developer.
I had a look at his last game. I think it was versus Merrimack, if I'm not mistaken, and he scored a nice goal. And I looked at his goals, and like you say, he's got a really good release. For a guy his size too, once he's rolling there, he moves pretty well as well, does he not?
Yeah, I would say so. I think he's an above average skater. He's someone that is gotten better as he's put some weight on. He's always a big lanky kid. Now you start putting some weight on, and it buys you a little bit more time with the puck, and most importantly, it buys you a little bit more puck possession in the offensive zone, buying time for your teammates to get around you and supporting the puck. So I think as the years go on, as he continues to put on a few pounds, his game's going to get even better.
Yeah, well, he's now 24, so going to be 25 shortly. That's given his advantage, like his maturity. Do you expect that he can step into Laval's lineup here and help them immediately?
Well, I don't know their team per se, because I haven't had a chance to watch Lucas and Laval here this year. But I do anticipate he's going to have an impact, and I do anticipate he can add something to the club.
Yeah. Now listed here a hockey DB, and they often 192 pounds. I mean, that could have been from 4 years ago or whatever. Do you have an idea of what his weight would be approximately now?
Yeah, at the end of a season like this, he's well over 200 pounds. But, as the years go on, as metabolism slows down a little bit, I would picture him at 210, 215 once he starts a season and he's fully stocked from that standpoint. But he's still over 200 pounds here at the end of the season.
Okay. He got 3 minor penalties all year, and they all came in the same game. So every other game, he did not get a minor penalty. Now, you can take what you want from that. Obviously, he's not he's not someone that, hooks and, takes needless minor penalties. What would you say, like, for a guy his size, is he not that aggressive, or how would you describe him as far as compete goes?
Yeah, I wouldn't put too much thought into that one. It's he competes extremely hard. He's involved in the hard areas. I wouldn't be worried about that one bit. In fact, he's one of our better competitors. He was this year. So from a standpoint of playing clean and playing hard, it seems like a lot of times when you have guys who have the puck a lot of the game, they don't seem to be in the penalty box. So that's the case for him.
He played 3 minutes shorthanded in his 4-year career. Now, was it a case that you had some other guys that you felt were more suited for that role, and you wanted him, especially this year, to play more of an offensive role and not get too many minutes?
Yeah, in college, that's the case. A lot of times you have guys who specialize because they're not as talented as the pros. So you have guys that slot into the penalty kill sector a little bit more freely than you do in pro hockey, where you seem to play some of your better players in all situations. This guy played a lot of power play, a lot of 5-on-5, and a lot of 4-on-4 situations. So we left that penalty kill time for others.
Yeah, okay, that's fair enough. His face-off percentage, both this year and for his career, 53%, which is pretty decent. He's pretty good on the draws, is he?
Yeah, no, from that standpoint, I mean, that the statistic speaks for itself. When you're over 50% this day and age, it's a good percentage, and he certainly carries his own here from that standpoint.
Okay. Did he play center all 4 years, or when, if not, when did he move to center?
Yeah, I played him mostly center. I would say primarily at center position. I think that's where he plays the best hockey, but he's also able to play the wing, but I think he excels at the center position.
Okay. What would you list as his main strengths as a player, and what maybe will help him at the pro level?
Yeah, his main strengths is release. His main strengths is advancing zones. His main strength is supporting the puck, and I think his skating. I think his skating is above average. So, to get someone who gets into the offensive zone and is able to make a play in the offensive zone, those are pretty popular guys here to coaches.
How much communication did you have with Montreal before he got signed?
I had very little, to be honest with you. I knew there was an interest because of his representative, but I personally didn't have too much communication with Montreal, so they kept that pretty quiet. From
your viewpoint, having coached him 4 years, what would you say his pro upside would be?
Well, I think it's unlimited. Whenever you have a 6'4" lanky kid that carries the puck well, that releases the puck well, that contributes, those are hard to find. And I like his pro upside. I think he's someone that's coming into it a little late as far as being a late developer, and he's improved all 4 years he's been here. So I see him continuing to improve over the next few years.
Right. Did you? He went NAHL, New Mexico. Were you in on did you see him during the recruiting process, and where was he recruited from?
Yeah, he was recruiting from that team. Certainly I saw him on film. As a head coach, you don't get out and recruit like your assistants do. You mainly give your blessing via video, and
right.
we because of his upside skating wise. We liked him because of his upside work wise. He's a really diligent worker. He's a preparation guy. He's someone who's at the rink a lot. And there's no surprise to me that he's improved all 4 years. And I think he'll continue to do that.
Excellent. So you've taken quite a route from rural Manitoba, French community, you were saying, as where you grew up. Just give me a quick rundown on how you ended up being the head coach in UMass-Lowell, and for quite a while here now. You were assistant and now head coach, right?
Yeah, this is third time back. I was here as a player for 4 years. I was here as an assistant coach for 4 years, and I, like many other coaches, I ventured other places. I was at Colorado College. I was at Hamilton College, and I came back as a head coach here. Now, this just completed the 15th year back. So, fortunately for me, it's been a great stop, and there's a lot of tradition here, tradition of success. Craig McTavish, Dwayne Rollison, Carter Hutton, Connor Hellebuck, which you guys know fairly well. Chet a lot of great players have played here, and I'm fortunate to be associated with the program.
Right on. And how many years was he assistant captain? Was this his first year as an assistant, or was he also last year?
Yeah, last year also. So he's assistant captain for a couple of years, and I think he went about it the right way. I think he was someone that concentrated on being a hard worker the first couple of years, and then slowly, developed a voice within the team, and everybody respects him because of his work ethic. So he's an easy guy to like. He's an easy guy to befriend here as far as a teammate.
And character-wise, how would you describe him
Well, nobody wears a letter here unless they're a top end character guy. So, yeah, like I said, he's well respected within the room. He's someone who walks the walk and leads the way by example a lot of times. And it was an easy decision to make him assistant captain.
Perfect. From what you've seen this year, who would you, the big tournaments coming up, obviously, who would you say, from what you've seen and heard and so on, would you say would be the favorite this year to win the title?
It's a great question. I think it's hard for me to answer that because you haven't seen the Western teams as much. We have seen Western Michigan. We've seen a couple other Western teams, but when you don't see everybody, it's a tough question to answer. I think out of the East,
who in the East then would be the favorite, do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's several good teams. I think Hockey East represents us very well. I think both UMass and Providence will have a chance at it. I think if someone else comes out of the East, other than those two teams, like maybe a Connecticut or a Boston College, those two teams will represent us well. I think Western Michigan is quite good out of the West. And obviously Denver's had a good year also. So there's several good teams and it'll be exciting. It's a 1-game set. So as you know, anything can happen.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, even the US beat Canada in a 1-game set. So yeah, you just never know, right?
Well, with a great goalie, anything can happen. And that was
yeah, that's why when you said Connor Hellebuck, us up in Canada, as you say, we know him quite well. What are your thoughts on Logan Sawyer at Providence?
Yeah, no, I've seen him a little bit. I think I'd have to look back to see what he did against us in those games because as a coach, you're focused on your own team so much that you really don't pay attention to the opposing players. But like I said, I'd have to look back at my notes. I'm sure the Canadiens, thought enough of him to draft him for a reason, and I'd have to look back to see what he actually did against us.
Yeah. Well, you would have, surely you remember Lane Hudson.
Yeah, he was tough not to notice, as you know, someone, a defenseman who can kind of control the tempo of a game back there and carry the puck as much as he does. It's hard not to notice him, and keeping him off the board is a tough assignment some nights. So he's done well, and it's no surprise to us because he did the same thing in college, and I'm very impressed he's able to do that at his size at the top level. So he's going to have a long career if he can stay healthy.
Oh, that's great. Did you have any draft eligible kids playing on your team this year?
Yeah, we've got quite a few. Lowell is a team that's got a lot of free agents, and several guys garnered attention, and we'll see how the draft comes off here this year. So it'll be an exciting time for our players.
Excellent. Well, Norm, I won't take any more of your time. I appreciate on such short notice coming on and doing this little interview with me. I really appreciate that, and all the best in the future to you.
Yeah, much appreciated. It's good to join you.
Norm Bazin from a small French community in Manitoba. Originally, like you said, played a little hockey, played for UMass-Lowell, and has come back and has been there forever. Coach Lucas Condata, and talked to him before about Lucas, and he said, like when he signed with Laval, and he said he'd play some games in the NHL, and he did. Said that he's captain material, and he is. So, but saying that Bentley's pro upside's unlimited is an exciting thing. As somebody stated there, he didn't he didn't overstate things with his player like some coaches do. But it's clear that he was impressed with Bentley, and in looking at one game is all I got a chance to look at so far. He looks pretty good. Also, I also included it in the video that I'm going to play here. I also included his goals, just to give you an idea of the offensive upside that is there. He play in a pretty competitive conference. Hockey East is always is one of the strongest. Sometimes, some years it's the strongest conference. And he scored more goals than Hage, Sawyer, and Sam Harris. He's bigger than those guys. He skates really well. So I like the signing. I had not looked at him before, and but I think he can. I think he can help the team. So let's have a look at the video here. He's number 19 in blue, and you'll, as I say, you'll notice pretty much right off that he can skate. He's a good skater, and you're 6'4" and you can skate like that. Hey, there's a spot for him in the AHL. I like how he circles back. Is a passing option for his defenseman. But you see him here on the back check. Again, he moves well. Like, you can, college hockey, especially at this level, like Merrimack's a good team. If you're a good skater at this level, you'll acclimatize to the American Hockey League pretty quickly. But you'll notice in all these, it's a good jump, good stride, powerful skater. Good play there to get the puck to the front. He wasn't going to say, no, this guy's a pussy or anything like that, but 3 minor penalties all year, and all coming in the same game. So out of his 36 of his 37 games, he never took a penalty. Like, he's obviously not uber aggressive. And I mean, the coach wasn't going to admit that, but, not taking any roughing penalties or not fighting or not getting in any scuffles or anything like that. So don't be expecting a, Florian Jacki, Tyler Thorpe type prospect necessarily, but he is similar to Thorpe, but even a better skater at this point. Mind you, he's 4 years older, so he should be. But you see here, he can wheel. He can wheel for a big guy, and decent hands. See, like there, he battled nicely there. It's not like he lacks, like Norm was saying, like he lacks compete. He's just not he's not a physical player, I think would be fair to say. There he gets knocked down. But that's, Montreal needs bigger bodies, and it's not always about being a body checker. It's if he can skate like that, if he can create some offense, if he can take care of his own zone, clog up the middle of the ice, be good down low, he'll certainly be a nice addition to Laval. See how he makes himself available, and he's really good at receiving passes, getting to using that speed to circle back, get open, and Laval's defensemen will like that, right? Here again, you just see he wheels pretty smoothly and quickly through the neutral zone. And I like his he back, in this game at least he competed pretty hard coming back. I always like that. Here again, showing off that speed. This is good hockey, so this isn't like a guy standing out at the Central Junior League level or something. It's not that far away. Very, very similar, really, level to the AHL. And again, it's the skating that, for me, that continues to stand out. And yeah, at that age, exactly, Ken, like I've been saying, like, he's turning 25 in 2 weeks, so he's a man. He the NAHL isn't a pussy league by any means either. He actually had 63 minutes there one year. There was a cheap shot. But again, did he fight the guy or no? Just got back up, went at it. So don't be looking for him to be dropping the gloves or anything like that. But I don't know if his buddy that from Peoria that was on the other night's gonna pop by tonight. But he said he can handle himself, and I don't know if you've seen him fight in a bar or something. Maybe backed up Gavin McKenna one night. But again, with all these highlights, pretty impressive from a size skating combination, and that's, hey, start there, right? I could see him. I wouldn't mind seeing him on the line with Thorpe, like the two of them, the 6'5", 6'4" guy that can wheel. They could be a handful at the AHL level, especially at playoff time. And consistently 53% face off. And again, at college, that's decent because they're better face off men at college level than at the junior level. Again, age and experience. It's the same way in the NHL. The older you get, the more face offs you take, the more tricks you learn, the more. So he's already a half decent face-off man, and that will help there. You see him. That was a good rush by him, but yeah, he'll be good cycling the puck, as you can see. So it's nice to get another big body in there. He's got a pretty good release. He did throw a couple of hits in this game. It's not like he won't hit, but not taking foolish penalties, actually, Montreal's organization, that's not a bad thing. Friggin' penalties they've been taking. High sticking. Well, we know that he's not going to be getting high sticking penalties all the time. There was a goal that he scored at the end of right here. Unfortunately, they don't have replays, and but hey, found the net from kind of an improbable angle there. Again, look at this. That was a nice rush, eh? So he got half decent hands and a bit of east-west to his game. So I was surprised by his skill level. Really was. And good on the Canadiens. And hey, Gorton and Bob Robb, and there's 3 or 4 of them that live in the Massachusetts area. So no shock that, they've landed a couple of guys from so that was the end of the. No surprise that they've landed a couple of players that are playing at the lesser known, one of the lesser known universities in Massachusetts. I think that's a good place to, to mine if you can, so to speak. But let's get back to. So that was the Merrimack game, the last game he played at the college level, and here are his goals this season.
Almost 8 minutes gone by here in the second period. Here's Bentley, ever dangerous, and he scores! The net shovels it up the wall.
Ever
Back
dangerous.
to 5-on-5.
Like to hear that.
Turning shot, Bentley scores!
Control. Taking a look, he's got Bentley. Gets it across, one-time score! Punch pass by Murr to try to put it on the tape of Stender. Chance shot, score! Play by that young man, and it is a 1-0 hockey game.
No, I like this. Throw it into the slot. He found
one. A little help from the post off the draw. Second one in. Tracy makes it again. And the third one.
Beat Bernard Docker to the puck. Yes, he can. Great pass to Bentley, and they score!
Nice release. Coach wasn't he wasn't exaggerating. Okay, I don't know what happened there, folks. We'll back her up a bit here.
Shot, Bentley scores!
Control. Taking a look, he's got Bentley. Gets it across, one-time score! Punch pass
It's one time
by
there.
Murr to try to put it on the tape of Stender. Chance shot, score! Play by that young.
All right, we're having a look at a couple of these twice. Sorry, just trying to get the sound off, and it the slider went in the slider. But you can see there, I think he'll score goals at the HL level, and maybe this year, like he might be a useful piece at playoff time. There's a nice again. His one-timer is good. Look, I like the burst here, and then boom. You talk about your late bloomer, right? I think the Canadiens got an intriguing prospect here. I like the fact that he's going to be 25. Like, he's friggin' ready to contribute. You don't have to wait. Like, if he ever does get an NHL look, he'll be friggin' in his prime. So, and it could be in the next couple of years. Who knows? But hey, big body, good shot. Again, the skating is what really stands out for me. The shot and the skating. So you're 6'4", good release, and above average skater. That's a good start. And it looks like he handles the puck half decently as well. So there you have it. That's Dillan Bentley. I'm intrigued, and I think he'll help Laval right off the bat. I mean, the coach wasn't willing to come right out and say it, but I'll say it.
His pro upside would be.
And here's
Well,
a little something that I picked.
His pro upside.
By the way, here.
His pro upside would be.
Well, I think it's
Reinbacher,
unlimited
Davidson.
whenever you have a 6'4".
That's tonight, folks. Laval went up 1-0 the first period on the power play. Reinbacher to Davidson, goal. Nice feed, nice shot. 15th of the year for Davidson. We'll have one more look at it here. Reinbacher put it right in the old wheelhouse, as they say. Nice feed from David. So nice to see him get another primary assist. They're in a break right now, and 14:41 remaining in the second. Laval up on Wilkes-Barre Scranton 1-0. Engstrom's back in the lineup, which is good. But you notice who was out there on the power play? Reinbacher. So I hope they still keep giving him power play time, because he's I think he can help on the power play. Definitely. Jacobs. All right, so nobody else dressing tonight, other than Engstrom being back in the lineup. So much for it being a month. That's encouraging that that Adam's back. Once again, it makes you wonder, do they, if they knew Engstrom was coming back, could they not have called up Reinbacher? Makes me wonder if they're going to do it ahead of time there. Sorry, late to the party. Well, since you sent me $5, Mark, I think I'll forgive you, buddy. Rhino, yes, he changed agents. He's with Cortex. I posted something on social media yesterday, just like a quote, reply quote, saying, maybe he's miffed that he hasn't been called up yet. Decided to change agents. And Cortex, that sound familiar? That was Hughes's old, I guess he founded it, right? So Zeffel, yeah, he's a big guy. 6'4", 205 probably. Scott, still thinking about the game last night? Yes, sir. Big game. Big game. By the way, 75 of you already watching here on a, it's not a game night. That's encouraging. These prime time shows are doing okay. I appreciate it. People finding the time. I realize it's busy at night. Yeah, 50 wins would be nice. Scott said, let's go for 50. 50 wins would be nice. I know what you meant, though, Scott. You're talking about Cole. And let's how's Hockey East as a conference this year? Good. Not as good as some years. I mean, Boston College and Boston University weren't nearly as good, but in part, other teams were better, right? So a little more depth maybe this year in Hockey East, just not the powerhouses at the top like we had seen for 2 or 3 years with BC and BU being stacked. A lot of graduations over the last year. And I was asked, like I say, I only looked at one game at this point. Kenny was asking if I did multiple views, but didn't have time to, I have to get clips. I have to highlight them, download. It takes quite a while, so didn't have time to do two, and to arrange and interview his coach today. And really thanks to him and Mark Diver, actually, who you can follow if you follow him on X, on Twitter. He's a good, really good guy and a journalist that covers college hockey and NHL hockey and AHL hockey in the New England area, and very knowledgeable. I've got a lot of stuff about Lane and Stroobs and Jordan Harris through the years, and he follows all of the hockey and AHL. Good, a good hockey man. But I was trying to find a contact for Norm and couldn't find it, so I DM'd Mark Diver, and he gave me his cell number, and I texted Norm this morning and said, sure, when do you want to do it? And we set it up this afternoon. So thank you so much to Mark, and thanks to Norm for getting that arranged and done so quickly. Let's get to a few more questions here. At his age, he could be ready for the AHL physically. I think so, yeah. 50 plus on faceoffs will help in the AHL too, yes. Yeah. Again, play the knuckles like Gavin, yeah. Absolutely, Ken. He's got a nice release. His one-timer seems ready and quick, if that makes sense. Oh, sure. Everything makes sense. Did I see McCarron's layout on Bedard? Like you said, would have been nice to see him on the fourth line over here. Yeah. And again, the price wasn't that high, was it? I mean, Greg, they basically gave up 2 second-round picks for Newhook. Well, I mean, for the same price, you get friggin' Murphy and McCarron. I think it would have made all the difference in the world, like, honestly. Gavin Bare Knuckles McKenna is a nickname. As a nickname, yeah. I was at a work outing, seeing the cast start, was like, sorry guys, I'm out, gotta go. Oh, we have an addict in the live chat, folks. A Habscast addict. I guess that's could be worse things to be addicted to. Yeah. Again, 40. Cole with his 40th. Can he hit 50, guys? Wouldn't it be nice if he got 50 goals and Nick got 100 points? That's, you know, it's been too long. Stefan Richer, Matt Snaslin. Caufield, do I think he'll hit 50? You know what? He scores big goals, big games when it counts. I wouldn't put it past him because over the next 15 games, there's going to, guess what? Every game's a big game. And it's the same with Suzuki too. Like down the stretch last year, last 30 games, every game was like almost must win. Well, who was one of the leading scorers over the last 30 games of the season last year? Yeah, you guessed it, Nick Suzuki. So I would not be surprised if Nick cracks 100 and Cole flirts with 50. I predicted it go early in the year that he could score 50 this year. I made that bold prediction, so I just I'm just curious what. Bear with me for a sec here, folks. I'm going to do the game log on Nick Suzuki. Hockey Reference, by the way, fantastic for NHL players. It's my go-to. It's my go-to for sure. Okay, so game 48. Oh, that's this year. Just hang on a second here. 24-25. All right. So from game 57 to 82. So 26 games. All right. 8, 9, 13. $37 points. 37 points in his last 26 games. So that's a pretty good pace. If he can score at that pace as he did at the end of last year, 37 points in 26 games, guess what, folks? He's going to do it. I hope so. 30. 1.42 times 15, 21 more points. That'd give him 101. So I'm going for it. Sammy Blais just scored. It is now 2-0 for Laval. Keep her rolling, boys. Nate Clerman. You know, Nate's ended up not playing all that badly. Didn't really know much about him going into the year. He's been serviceable. One game in the NHL with Pittsburgh, but you know, he played 3-4 years in the AHL, so he hasn't been that bad. He's even +6 so far this year, so decent depth pickup by the team. So Luke Middlestat not in the lineup. I thought maybe, but Engstrom coming back. I guess they thought, hey, why rush, right? Newhook at a point per game. Yeah, the rest of the year, oof, maybe 2 points. They need a nice 10-game winning streak. Yeah, I don't mind suspense in my life, but 10 straight 6-0 wins would just be fine. I'd be fine with that. Can they win the next 10, 6-0 each game? I'm not asking too much, am I? That's all I want. Enough of this cardiac kids crap. It's been hard on my nerves. It really has. Well, but I mean, gotta admit it's been exciting. How many players are having career seasons? Hudson, it's his second year. I mean, Cole, Nick, any others you can think of? Well, Slav. If you're gonna go for, if you're gonna mention Hudson, I guess Kapanen's having a career year, right? The Rocket just keep rock and rolling here, folks. 3-0 now. Apparently. So good for them. Just check the out-of-town scoreboard here. 2-2, Devils, Rangers, Pittsburgh, Carolina, 1-1. Guess I'm going for the Hurricanes in that one. Sens, Caps, no score. No score. They just started at 7:30. First period over. Scoreless. Ottawa's been shutting the door pretty good. Even without Sanderson, they're playing pretty solid hockey. Gotta admit. Sean Farrell scores. That doesn't excite me too much. Reinbacher. I want a Reinbacher hat trick. Let's see here if they update it. Joshua, Alex Belzil. Yeah. Oh well. Somebody's got to assist, I guess. All right. Thorpe. So Thorpe, Jack-Eye, Blais were together on the ice together on the second goal. And Roy, Farrell, and Belzil, I guess, playing as a line together tonight. Owen Beck, by the way, picked up an assist on the first goal, so good. At least Laval knows how to, they get it. Don't make it a friggin' nail biter every game. Just blow the other guys out. Get rid of the suspense. Beck, Meshar, and Davidson. Hey, they've been back. The rookie line from last year, I liked them last year, and I was hoping that they'd play more together this year than they had. But I like that they put them back together a little while ago. That's a decent line. I don't mind that trio. Meshar's been actually playing okay. I mean, does he look like an NHL prospect? Not at this point, but he's made strides. Give him one more year. See if maybe next year there's an offensive breakout with him. But he's certainly competing. He's got more jam in his game this year, and that's a good thing. But doing this all without the league's leading scorer too, right? Has anybody heard how seriously injured Dauphin is? He's missed a few here now. Shepard's the backup, so he's in. They sent Hunter Jones back to the ECHL a couple days ago. Kakkonen, he's going to be the main starter. Obviously, he's gotten quite a few games since Fowler got called up. He's in net once again tonight. Made 13 saves so far. So the other goalies made 13 saves too. He just also happened to let in 3. So, but once again, Detroit tomorrow night, big game. Need to win her. Do I think Nick might be in the running for the Lady Byng? Maybe. I don't know if anybody really wants to win the Lady Byng, right? Win an NHL trophy named after a lady? I don't know. But yeah, I guess he's in the running. I think there seems to be a fair bit of groundswell support for him maybe being one of the Selke finalists this year. And it's sort of funny given that he hasn't really played on the PK too much this year. But that you hear it every year, and you kind of know ahead of time who are going to be who the candidates are going to be for the Selke every year. Like, it kind of goes by momentum, and wouldn't be surprised from that he's a finalist and maybe wins the Selke this year. It's just, you hear it, and whenever you hear it, as a rule, it becomes just like a few years back. All of a sudden, you'd hear, "Oh, Barkov," and then boom, he wins it a couple times. The year, all of a sudden, you're hearing, "Oh, Matthews," and I mean, I didn't agree with it, but you kind of knew ahead of time that Matthews was going to be a finalist for the Selke. And guess what, folks? He won't be a finalist for the Hart or the Selke this year. Matt Snaslin's first year. I remember the great Danny Galvin make a comment on his play-by-play. Snaslin was dangling. He said he can outstick handle you in a telephone booth. Oh yeah, that was one of his classics. Helps when you're 5'6" and that short stick, eh? Oh, Suzuki will be in the running for Selke. Might even be kids. There you go, Ken. As I was just saying, yep. Oh, no goals for slowed down. They were scoring one every 2 minutes there for a while. Still 3-0. 2:57 left remaining in the second period. It could, but PK isn't the only factor. 5-on-5 counts for a lot too. Yeah. Oh, I know, but typically the guy that wins the Selke kills penalties. And it may be kind of what comes back to ultimately to get edged out because he's not. Have your thoughts on Reinbacher been called up soon changed much since last week? What do you mean have my thoughts changed? I still think he should be called up. I'm not quite sure, Grex, if I understand that question. Like, he's still playing very well, so yeah. I would like him to be called up. Such a great group of kids coming together. Can't wait to see what Hugo does this summer. Any guesses, Grant? If it's anything like the trade deadline, he, I don't know, goes on vacation for 2 months. I don't think he has to do a lot. Do I think it's less likely? I guess so. They haven't called him up. I guess it's less likely. I don't agree with that, though. Yes, MSL won the Lady Byng a couple of times, and maybe even Major League Soccer should have won the Lady Byng a couple times too, Glenn. Absolutely. You're going to love the new rumor about the mysterious trade the Habs didn't make. Now, folks, guess it was Nico. Thought that would make you chuckle. Huh. Hey, he sure would be a good pickup. Yeah, well, that's the thing when, speculation runs rampant, right? What did Hughes say about it in his interview? What do you think of Strubal's game yesterday? I liked it a lot. I thought he was his last 3 games have been very good. He's played like a guy that shouldn't be out of the lineup and should be playing 15 minutes a game. I've been impressed with him. Real 4. Not sure what that means. Shady Hudon. Kent would not name names, only that there was a deal that got rejected as it was submitted after the deadline. So that really was what happened, eh? I still don't know. Real 4. You think he's a number 4? Like he should be on the second pairing? Is that what you're getting at? Charles Hudon's younger brother? Yeah, well, anyway. Let the rumor mill churn, as Mark says, right? What, Yar? Charles Hudon's little brother? Signing Middlestat and Engstrom coming back. Maybe we'll see Rhino in Montreal soon. Yeah, maybe. Maybe they need a few more days of cap accumulation to be able to sign Hage later. I'm not sure what the thinking is. Grant, I missed it yesterday if mentioned, but why did Newhook only play a little over 9 minutes? Was he hurt? Yeah, I think he was hurt. He wanted to play 12 to 15, so he was hurt. He was sitting on the bench there sulking a bit. Wouldn't doubt that he was hurt quite a bit by that. All right. Enough of the smart Alec ness. No, he wasn't hurt. Did he only play a little over? I don't think he played particularly well, if that had anything to. But no, he wasn't hurt. Let's see here. I'm getting pretty good at this editing stuff here, eh? Newhook, 9:14. No time on the power play, no time shorthanded. Hey, yeah, well, I don't know. I don't think he was hurt. I just don't think he accomplished a whole hell of a lot. But anybody else hear anything about Newhook being injured? Let me just have a look at something here. My trusty Instat, Alex Newhook. I'll tell you when his last shift was. How's that? Trying to think like who would have been on the line replacing him. Let me just bear with me here a sec. We'll see when his last shift was. Let me get back to basically end of the second period, 3-0 Laval. Jersey's up 3-2. Carolina just went up 2-1 on Pittsburgh. Do us a favor and beat them in regulation. Thank you very much. All right. Yeah, he only played 3 shifts in the third period. Last one was at 7:44. Okay. Well, that does lean towards the possibility that he got hurt then. Let's see if we see anything. I'm just watching his shift here. Well, he was scooting pretty good. Huh. I don't know. He was skating fine and he didn't get hit or anything. Huh. Odd that he didn't play the last 7.5 minutes. So, yeah, could have been something. Tweak something or whatever. Maybe pull the hammy a little bit. Something along those lines. Have we less Cole's flu bugs going around? Yeah. I don't know, Glenn. Do you go on social media? Anyone saying anything about it? I'm just going to type in Newhook injured, see if we get anything. Yeah. That's a good question. It is odd that he did not play in the last 7 minutes of the game. Usually he is out there a fair bit, but he was not. Just now you got me curious. I'm gonna go and look at Demidov's last 2 shifts. See what kind of ice time he got after. And see how many shifts Demi played. You know what? Yeah, okay. Demidov didn't play the last 7.5 minutes either. Huh. They never saw the ice. It was, that's a little strange, but they did struggle a little bit in their own zone, second and third period, those 3. So 2-2 game. I guess coach thought, not going to chance it, right? But so no, Newhook. I don't think Newhook was injured. I didn't see him. He didn't get hit or anything, and he was fine at the end of his shift. They just did not play those guys as aligned in the last 7.5 minutes. Demi got a shift in overtime. Cappy didn't either. Cappy's last shift of the game was 7 minutes left. Huh. There you go. I just answered that for you, Glenn. Demidov and Kapanen did not, and Newhook did not see the ice in the last 7 minutes of the game. So, coach's decision. You know what? The third and fourth line were playing pretty well last night, so I guess I get it. I thought the second line was really good in the first period, but after that, and Blaine pointed it out last night that they were on for a few shots against in the last 2 periods, and I guess coach thought, hey, these other lines are going a little better. They're vets. I trust them at this point in a 2-2 game a little more, and that's the way the cookie crumbles. Alex Texier got a shift, and Evans got a shift in overtime. Newhook and Cappy didn't see the ice. Demi got 1 shift, but I don't necessarily agree with those decisions. But hey, Marty's becoming a veteran coach now in the league, and what do NHL coaches do as they become full-blown NHL coaches with experience? They become more conservative. So guess what? Marty's, the conservatism that we saw from conservative Claude, Michel Therrien, Pat Burns, Jacques Lemaire, on and on and on. We're starting to see a little more, with more and more with Marty as he becomes indoctrinated into being a veteran NHL coach. I wish Josh brought that type of game more often. Yeah, he's just got to think. He's just got to pretend he's playing against the Leafs or playing against the Leafs or the Bruins. Like I said last night, get a call from his dad. Get on your power horse and go. Rock and roll there, young man. I'm sure, his dad was a huge Habs fan growing up, right? So bred into him, honestly. But yeah, that's an interesting thing that I didn't notice that the so-called second line did not see the ice in the last 7.5 minutes. Excuse me. All right, folks. We're not getting a lot of. I guess I got caught up on everything here. We're not. I've run out of topics. Last 7 minutes. Yeah. Well, they were rolling last night too, Ken, right? That line was rolling pretty good, so he might just be wrapping up his game to playoff mode. Yeah, powerhouse mode. Here's hoping. Took Slav 2-3 years to get that shot off faster. Happy we'll get there. Cappy. Yeah. Is MSL being conservative, or because of the importance of getting the win, play it safe? Well, playing it safe is being conservative. That's what conservative is. Playing it safe. If he wasn't conservative, then he'd have gone for it. All right. He was playing it safe, which is being conservative. All right, Glenn. I think I better. We're going at a snail's pace here, so. Anyway, wanted to show video of Dillan Bentley, and a function of the need to win. Trying not to lose. Importance of getting a win. Then you have to score a third goal, right? I don't know how playing Deneau and Evans is better. Trying to win, it's kind of the opposite. It's trying not to lose. Don't agree with that approach. I think you put out the guys that can score the goal, or whose odds of scoring the goal are higher than the other guys. And those guys are no less likely to not give up a goal either. Especially friggin' Evans this year. Like he's on the ice for about 5 goals a game. So like, or 4 or 5 goals every 60 minutes. So, you know, if he was really worried about the importance of the game, then he would have played freaking Cappy and Demidov instead of those guys every freaking second shift. Hey, thank you, Grex, coming out. Just recently joined, enjoying it very much. Great show. All right. No, I've noticed that you're kind of a new name here, and appreciate you contributing to the live chat. Thank you. We almost hit 100. We got up to 98, and now it's back down to 91. Close. That's more than I expected on Dillan Bentley, but tells you just how rabid Montreal's fan base is, right? They're curious to know who this no-name Dillan Bentley fella is, and I'll tell you right now, I think you might be pleasantly surprised. You're going to see him in the Laval lineup for sure, and I think he'll contribute. If we want success in the playoff, we will need to trust more than our first line in the last minutes of the game. I agree. Yeah. I could do a show on Bugs Bunny and we would show up. Yeah, what's up, Doc? Injured again. I'm injured again, Bugs. Newhook should be on the third line. Absolutely. How big is Dillan? Dan Hab. He is 6'4", 200, and definitely more than 200 pounds, says his coach. Listed at 192 on on whatchamacallit. Okay, I got to remove that. Hockey DB. That just goes to show you, don't pay any attention to these friggin' weights on these hockey database websites. They don't know. They don't go to every friggin', off-season show up at knock, knock, knock. Yeah, this the Bentley residence? Yeah. I've got a weight scale here. Can the young lad step on it? Sure. That's so their guess is as good as ours. Well, I went right to the source, his coach. He says he's easily 200 pounds right now. And that's at the end of the year. So, typically a player, they'll lose about 5 pounds during the season, maybe 10 from what they are at the start of the season. So no, he said he thinks he'll get to about 215. He figures that's, at the start of a season. I don't know if he was necessarily saying next year, but in a year or two, he could see him being 200, 210, 215 at the start of a season. And then by the end of it, you're 207 or 208, something like that usually, lose a lot of water during the season. I don't know. I haven't been in touch with Liam. I'm going to see if he's doing a show tomorrow. I'll probably do something at noon or at noon tomorrow, live lunch. I imagine I'll do a pregame some point, probably noon. I think noon's the best time. I know Tony has his French show that goes past noon now, but I don't know how many of you watch his French show at 10 in the morning, but presumably if I do show at noon, most of you that do watch this will be tuning in, right? And I think lunchtime you get some people that are actually on lunch. So I was doing shows at 1, so I'd start after Tony finished. But you know what? I think I have to have a set time, and so people know. And I'm going to try here my live lunch and just make it consistent. Not every day, because there'll be games. There'll be times when I do a show later and post game and stuff, but I'm going to try to do as many live lunches and be consistent with that as possible. So Charles, if you're listening, what's the 4 or 5 hours difference? So 5 in the afternoon in Scotland. I'll try to do as many shows at lunchtime as possible. Does noon work okay for most of you, or not I. No, well, oh well. I mean, you can always watch later, right, Ken? But oh, okay. You're talking about doing the okay. Yeah. Well, I don't think it matters a whole heck of a lot. Martin LeMay has a French podcast each day at noon. Tony isn't taking those guys away, right? Okay. So you think noon works okay then? You don't have to watch it live either. You can always watch it later, right? But just people that are on lunch at noon that are working might, I might get a few more tuning in. Yeah, okay, well, and Eric, he wants to do a show at noon whenever he does do it, so maybe that's, 2 Big Macs live lunch, so Yeah. I can never watch during the weekdays. I work through lunch. Oh, there you go. Yeah. Well, it wouldn't matter at 1 o'clock or noon then for you anyways, right, Mark? Okay. Well, like I say, when I am doing a show during the day, well, yeah, there's a number of people that I realize I get a fair number of people that don't work anymore. So that it doesn't matter if it's noon or 1 o'clock, right? Yeah, I don't think it's going to make a big difference whether it's noon or 1 o'clock. So, like I say, I'm going to try to, when I am doing a show during the day on weekdays, look for it at noon, as often as possible. So, Mark has a little something to say here. Hit that like button, please. Yes. And if you're on your phone, hit your hype button. I don't know what that, I've never actually seen that, but don't know exactly what that does, but I think it helps the algorithm too. Hype it. If you follow me on Twitter, retweet the the link that I put up pre-game. If you get a chance, retweet those. If I notice that you've retweeted and I'm not following you on Twitter, well, I'll follow you. It's the least I can do. All right, folks. That's all for tonight. One last look at Pittsburgh's up 2-1 Carolina's up 2-1 on Pittsburgh. Washington 1-0 over the Sens. Sens got to win. Sens got to win that one. Wilkes-Barre, they just started the third period. All right. Well, maybe I'll go catch a bit of that. Thank you, everyone. Good turnout for, for my Bugs Bunny show here. Appreciate it. So noon tomorrow, I'll probably do a live lunch of some description, pre-game show. Maybe I'll get some more Reinbacher highlights if it's out. If the game's out in the morning, get a few more Reinbacher highlights. He's the guy. He's the main man. All right. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night, and hope to see you tomorrow. I'll certainly be doing a post-game. Metal Dave Auger, and Rick are going to be joining me. So at the very least, post-game after another big Habs victory. Thank you, everyone. Have a pleasant evening.